It's that season when the so-called big movies, some call them critic-proof films, come out, and I was excited about the Avengers because I liked Iron Man, and then I read your review, which was a little mixed.
It was a little disappointing.
Everybody liked your review. I think I saw Samuel Jackson on Twitter.
Nick Fury himself.
Nick Fury
unleashed
was
some fury on me and said, in fact, that I should find a new job, one that I could actually do.
Wow!
And
so he was criticizing your criticism.
He was coming right at me, and a lot of people joined in the crusade against me, and then a lot of people, heroically came to my defense, saying that it was very brave.
Well, after all, Nick Fury was after you, so you could use some help.
Right. A lot of people are going to see it, are having a good time.
You're out to spoil that.
No, I'm not out to spoil that. But how could I spoil that? But how could I? If you read my review and then you went and saw the movie and had a good time, how would my review of it affect that?
It is.
Anyway?
It's a little unfair because you're at least a critic who will enter big films and look around, and there's some who just have a reflexive opposition to scale.
That's another myth. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Whoa.
Yeah. There's an idea, which is, I think, very hard to substantiate, that critics are hostile to the popular forms of the art forms that they review. I don't think that's true. Most of the movie critics that I know, all of the movie critics who I respect, are open to all different kinds of movies, big, small, kids movies, serious movies.
You're just defending
long,
your posse.
No, I'm not. I'm defending what it is that we do, and what I don't understand is why that should be a threat.
Well, part of what's gone on is people have begun to take back the sort of custody of the critical narrative, that it's not, that it just doesn't belong to professionals, that it's been democratized. And so I was hoping we didn't get sort of locked into a big throwdown about movies, and I actually like your movie reviews, truth be told, but broaden out to the value of criticism in general. We stepped down to talk to Roberta Smith, who reviews visual art for us and has been doing it for a long, long time.
And knows a lot about how it's done.
Too many artists whose work I have written negatively about, who have museum retrospectives, sell out gallery shows all the time, for me to think that I'm making or breaking careers. I mean, and I find that, kind of liberating in a way. Everybody who's looking at art seriously, everybody's always voting in one way or the other. We all vote. My vote has a kind of immediacy and a kind of prominence for a while, but after a while it's just another vote. Collectors vote, people who talk to each other in bars and recommend shows vote, people who tweet vote. It's a mess, and that's what makes it kind of amazing.
You want to enter into a discussion of it. You want to formulate your own ideas and clarify your own ideas and engage with other people's experience of that. And it's
you make it sound so warm and cuddly, but in fact, you'll take something that people have sweated over for years on end, sunk their life into, and you'll grab a hold of it, you'll look at it, and you'll go, tsh, and snap it right in half. Say, you know what? This really is not very good.
Well, here's the thing. If you're engaged in creative work, and I think most critics have enormous respect for people who are engaged in that work, you are nonetheless submitting yourself to judgment. This is not a progressive kindergarten, all right? It's not, you did a nice job, you tried really hard. What you're pursuing is excellence, is truth, is beauty,
but there is no objective excellence, no objective truth.
No, but there's
is only your subjective version of it.
Do you really think that's true? I mean, do you really think that there's no common project of deciding what's beautiful and what's good and what's true? I don't think it's ever arrived at for all time. But I don't think that you or anyone else actually believes that we just carry around our own little private, canons of taste that we just sort of protect. Otherwise, we'd never talk about any of this stuff. Otherwise, why would we have an art section in the newspaper? Why would we go to movies with our friends?
We wouldn't have settled on certain things, whether it be the Sistine Chapel or the work of the Strokes, as common examples of excellence. So there must be something.
But it's hard to define and hard to formulate, maybe impossible. You know,
Well, it's not just
and say
because
that
you
was
said
better than
so.
another. No. I would hate to think that people formulate their opinions just based on what I said so, or
Really?
what any other. Yeah, I'm not interested in mind control.
I think many critics are, though.
See, you keep inventing these imaginary critics who do and think all of these terrible things.
I'm going to make a monster movie about critics sometime, and then it'll be critically panned. Here, I want to get back to this.
We're filled like all
with self-hatred,
with self-loathing, and
right.
And
okay,
neurosis
I want to get back to
and
this
wounded
thing though.
Pride.
When you ruin something, a couple of years ago, I wrote a book, and it was generally well reviewed, but there were a couple of reviews that just tore its arms and legs off. And I got to tell you, it hurt.
Yes.
It really hurt.
After a while, you do learn that it does hurt. You know that it's somebody's work and effort there.
So have you, A.O. Scott, mellowed? Sounds like it. Sounds like a little.
Maybe a little, but then every time I think I have something will come along that just makes me mad. Like the Lorax, a very popular movie that everyone went to see.
You pounded on this darling little children's character
until and despicable movie. It's a crime against childhood. It was an insult to the imagination of one of the great creative artists of the 20th century, Dr. Seuss. It's an abomination. But other than that, I'm mellowed.
Whoa. Do you ever, right before you go to bed or when you wake up the next morning, think to yourself, who am I? Who am I to say this stuff? Who appointed me, really, emperor of all things good and horrible?
Well, I don't think of myself as emperor of
You're
anything.
a film critic for the New York Times. You've got a big box of lightning bolts on your desk. It takes a certain form of arrogance, is what I'm saying.
I'll plead guilty to that.
Okay.
But criticism is its own thing. It's its own taste, and people who want it.
Who wants someone to come and spoil their fun?
Yes, people who are masochistic,
intellectualize something
and
beyond
insecure. Those are my people. That's my constituency. The people who need their lives ruined. I'm here for you.